Welcome to Zone 6 Picks, your go-to source for daily sports betting predictions, expert insights, and free picks across the biggest games in the NBA, NFL, WNBA, NCAA, and more. We specialize in delivering accurate, research-backed betting content with no subscriptions, no hidden fees, just straightforward betting advice you can trust. Before we get started, a quick shout-out from my partner Zone 6.
What's up, family? Thanks for tapping in with Zone 6 Picks, where we drop game picks every single day. Straight free picks, no pay for play. If you like winning, this is the zone you need to be in, Zone 6. Just show the channel some love, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring that bell so you don't never miss a money play. Let's eat.
What's good, Zone 6 family? After a wild WNBA weekend, in which we went 3-2, we're turning our eyes to a compelling Monday matchup between the Seattle Storm and the Connecticut Sun. This game tips off in Uncasville at 7 p.m. Eastern, and we've got some sharp angles to break down. Let's get straight into it. Seattle comes in at 15-11 on the season, while Connecticut is sitting at a tough 4-20. But don't let that record fool you. The Sun are coming off their most dominant performance of the year, a 95-64 blowout win over the Golden State Valkyries, who are no slouches on defense. Tina Charles dropped 24 and 4 players, including Marina Mabrey, hit double figures in scoring. That kind of balance and energy, especially on the second night of a back-to-back, is something bettors can't afford to overlook. The Storm, on the other hand, are coming off a sluggish 69-58 loss to the Washington Mystics. They only had 2 players reach double digits, with Nneka Ogwumike leading the way with 18 points. Offensively, this team has started to show some cracks, and that's not ideal as they head into a matchup against a team they haven't been able to comfortably put away all season. Looking at the injury reports, they're relatively clean. Storm's Katie Lou Samuelson remains out for the season with a knee injury. On the flip side, the Sun are entering this one fully healthy. Now let's talk about the market movement. This line opened at Seattle -7.5 and has since been pushed to -11.5, even 12.5 in some places. That's a 4 to 5 point move in Seattle's favor, with the total dropping from 160.5 to 156.5. Public betting is slightly tilted towards Seattle, with 56% of the tickets and 69% of the money coming in on the Storm. But here's where it gets interesting. Connecticut has covered the spread in all 3 meetings against Seattle this season. Even in the games they lost outright, they stayed within the number. Back on July 9th, they pulled off the upset as a plus 17.5 underdog, winning 93-83 behind a monster 29-point, 11-rebound performance from Tina Charles. That kind of resilience tells us the Sun match up better against Seattle than the betting line suggests. Statistically, the Sun hold their own in a few key areas. Over their last 5 games, they've actually posted a better offensive rating than the Storm, 102.2 to 89.1. They're also out-rebounding Seattle with a 52.6 rebound rate compared to Seattle's 46.6. Their effective field goal percentage is stronger too, and that's with a slower pace of play, which could favor them in a grind-it-out contest. Seattle may have the edge in the win column, but with depth concerns and recent offensive inconsistency, they're vulnerable to letting the Sun hang around once again. The models have this game projected as an 11-point win for Seattle, but when you factor in Connecticut's ability to stay competitive, their recent blowout win, and the fact that they've covered in all 3 head-to-heads this year, the value is clearly on the home dog. We're projecting a final score of Seattle 85, Connecticut 76. That gives the Storm a 9-point win, which is not enough to cover the -11.5 spread. So for tonight's Zone 6 pick, ride with the Connecticut Sun to cover the plus 11.5. The trends, the momentum, and the matchup history all support the play. That wraps up our first breakdown between Seattle and Connecticut, where the Sun look like a live dog once again. But we're not done yet. Let's take it down south to Dallas, where the Wings are set to host one of the league's top squads in the New York Liberty. With injury concerns mounting and a tough back-to-back situation in play, this one could get out of hand quickly. Let's break it down. Tip-off is set for 8 p.m. Eastern, and the spread currently favors New York at -7.5. It's even bumped up to -8.5 in some places. Based on form, injuries, statistical metrics, and historical trends, this game sets up as a clear edge for the Liberty. New York rolls in with a 17-7 record, still one of the most balanced and dangerous teams in the league. They're coming off a tough 101-99 loss to the LA Sparks on July 26th, which ended a 5-game winning streak. But despite the loss, the Liberty offense was on full display once again. Just days prior, they dismantled the Indiana Fever 98-84 while shooting over 51% from the field and a ridiculous 95% from the free throw line. This team leads the league in scoring at 88 points per game and ranks top 3 in both field goal and three-point shooting percentage. Dallas, meanwhile, continues to stumble. They're coming off a brutal 106-80 loss to the Las Vegas Aces last night, which makes tonight the second night of a back-to-back. That's not just a scheduling concern, it's a roster issue. The Wings are already depleted. They've lost 5 of their last 6 games and now sit at 7-19 overall, near the bottom of the standings. Offensively, they average 81.8 points per game, but that production drops off dramatically when key players are missing. And that's where the injury report becomes the most important storyline of the night. Dallas is without Tyasha Harris for the season. Maddie Siegrist and Miesha Hines-Allen are both sidelined. And most critically, rookie sensation Paige Buchers is potentially out due to rest and ongoing knee management. Although I suspect she will play, she accounts for nearly 20% of their scoring and assists, and is the floor general this team desperately needs. Without her, the Wings have gone just 1-4 straight up this season. Her absence leaves a massive hole in both offensive flow and shot creation. Keep an eye out throughout the day to see if she's ruled in. If she's ruled in, I expect this line to move in favor of Dallas creating value on the New York side, especially if she's ruled in and Breena Stewart is ruled out. Speaking of my Lady Stewart, New York is dealing with injuries of their own, including Nyara Sabally and of course Breena Stewart. Stewart exited the Sparks game with a leg issue and did not return, but the team has confirmed it's not serious. She traveled with the squad and is questionable for tonight, meaning she may see limited minutes if cleared. Even if Stewart sits, the Liberty have the depth to maintain dominance. Sabrina Ionescu continues to lead this team with 19.3 points per game, and players like Kennedy Burke, Stephanie Talbot, and Isabel Harrison are ready to step in if needed. Let's take a look at the metrics. New York holds a league-best offensive rating of 111, and the top effective field goal percentage at 55.3%. They also have the second fastest pace in the league. Defensively, they rank 6th in points allowed per game and force over 14 turnovers per contest. Dallas, on the other hand, owns a net rating of -8.8, ranks just 9th in field goal percentage, and gives up nearly 86 points per game. Those are numbers that rarely hold up, especially on tired legs against a top-tier team. Historically, the Liberty have dominated this matchup. Their last meeting was a 99-67 blowout win in Dallas. New York has covered the spread in 5 of their last 6 games overall, and has gone 6-4 against the spread in their last 10 against the Wings. Meanwhile, Dallas has only covered in 2 of their last 6, with the Wings playing somewhat shorthanded, on 0 rest, and potentially without their primary playmaker. This matchup heavily favors the Liberty. The projected score, New York 92, Dallas 77. That's a 15-point cushion and well within range to cover the current -7.5 line. So tonight's official Zone 6 pick, take the New York Liberty to cover the -7.5 spread, even if my Lady Buchers is ruled in. The numbers, trends, and reports all point in one direction. Here's the official Zone 6 recap for Monday's slate. In the early matchup, we're backing the Connecticut Sun to cover the +11.5 spread at home against the Seattle Storm. The numbers, trends, and recent momentum all point to a tight game. Then in the later matchup, we're rolling with the New York Liberty to cover the -7.5 spread on the road against a shorthanded and fatigued Dallas Wings squad. 2 plays, 2 strong positions. Let's lock in and cash out. That's it for today's breakdowns here at Zone 6 Picks. As always, we're not just throwing darts. We're leaning into the numbers, the matchups, and the momentum to find real edges. If you found value in the plays, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on those notifications so you never miss a slate. Drop your picks or thoughts in the comments. We want to hear what you're rocking with. And remember, lines move fast, so shop around for the best number and always bet responsibly. Until next time, stay sharp and keep it Zone 6.